The whole of Sidikin town in southern Lebanon is today a building site. It was reduced to rubble during the conflict between Israel and Lebanon in the summer of 2006. Half the town was destroyed, and the buildings left standing suffered serious damage. Though rebuilding is underway, there's a major obstacle: cluster bombs. Large containers dropped from the air scatter scores of submunitions. Up to a quarter don't explode on impact. They remain long after the war is over, a lingering and deadly threat.
After the conflict in summer 2006, ECHO undertook an immediate reconstruction phase on several fronts, repairing the water supply, rebuilding houses, and psychosocial programs. But all this reconstruction work, getting back to normal, is blocked by the cluster bomb problem. The whole of southern Lebanon has been littered with cluster bombs. It's estimated that 1 million of them didn't explode. So people cannot get back to work on their fields, and going back home is very difficult. One of the priorities, one of the principal undertakings for ECHO and its partners has been the clearance of submunitions. And one of its most important partners is the Swiss Foundation for Mine Action, so people can get back to normal.
FSD is one of 9 specialist clearance organizations in southern Lebanon. They've been at work in and around Sidikin since the end of 2006.
So here you can see the submunition impact, which was given to us by the UN. So after looking around the houses, we found nothing. And we realized that the impact of the submunitions was in fact here. And this is where we found some submunitions. But the problem is that this road cuts right across this field, and it's out of reach to the people who want to use it to grow crops. So that's now our priority number 1. We want to clear the area so that the people can bring their machines onto the land and harvest the wheat.
Traveling, working, playing. For people trying to get back to normal after the trauma of war, every aspect of life is threatened. Children are particularly at risk. 8-year-old Hassan had a narrow escape when he picked up what he thought was an old tin can.
I was wounded. I looked down. It was bleeding, and then I couldn't walk properly. I was playing with a friend. He's called Fadal. He said he wanted to show me something. I looked at it and picked it up. I threw it away quickly, but then it exploded.
Over 200 people have been killed by cluster bombs since the end of the war. It's a constant worry for parents.
There were cluster bombs here in this area. I have young children and I don't dare let them out because it's very, very dangerous for them to play here. These young men are helping clean up the area, thank God.
They have taken risks. They themselves found 7 cluster bombs while they were working the land. They marked them, but we found a dozen more, all along the road. Over 200 meters, about a dozen of them.
Most people in this region make a living off the land. Tobacco is an important crop. Many families risk life and limb cultivating ground that has not been formally cleared. They have no other way of earning a living. But here in Sidikin, the FSD teams are making good progress.
This is a field that we're preparing to hand over to the landowner. It's about 4,000 square meters. It took us 2 weeks to clear it with 8 searchers. So now we're doing the final step, which is the assets. Before we hand it over to the landowner, we mark the field, and along with the landowner and the authority, with the organization, we prepare it, we give it back to them officially, so we could restore the confidence to the landowner to reuse his land, which is his source of income, his only source of income.
When the teams are working close to homes and inhabited areas, the submunitions have to be removed to a safe area before they can be disposed of.
As you've already seen the men clearing the side of the road, for example, today we found 3 submunitions. We rendered them safe take them to the CDS, Centralised Demolition Site, and we destroy them there in a safe area. Normally within this area we would find 2 or 3 per day, which normally would have to be destroyed at the end of each workday. But some of the other sites over in Sedikeen on top of the mountain, we might not find any for 2 weeks. But the main purpose is to clear the ground and hand it back to the local population so they know they can use the land free from the threats of these submunitions.
Demolition décompte, 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!